The WNBA has arrived. Caitlyn Clark's gotten really good really fast. It's like the end of year 1 for Michael Jordan or year 3 for Michael Jordan. She's gotten really good really fast.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of sports drama, WNBA buzz, or just love a good controversy, buckle up because today we're diving into one of the hottest topics in basketball right now. Colin Cowherd, the outspoken host of The Herd on FS1 and Fox Sports Radio, has dropped a bombshell that's got everyone talking. He's accusing WNBA players of showing race-based hate toward Indiana Fever superstar Caitlyn Clark, the league's biggest breakout star. This explosive claim comes hot on the heels of Clark's jaw-dropping $100 million Nike deal, a contract that's not only one of the richest in WNBA history, but is also sending shockwaves through the league, raising eyebrows and tempers alike. With Clark's meteoric rise reshaping the WNBA's landscape, think soaring ticket sales, record TV ratings, and a valuation boost for teams like the Fever, it's no wonder this story is dominating headlines. But is there truth to Cowherd's bold accusations? Is Caitlyn Clark being unfairly targeted by her peers because of her race, her fame, or something else entirely? Or is this just another case of media stirring the pot to fuel clicks and views? We're going to break it all down in this deep dive, unpacking the stats, the social media buzz, and the bigger picture of what this means for the WNBA. Make sure to stick around to the end for my take on whether Cowherd's onto something or just fanning the flames. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our sports content. Trust me, you'll want to stay in the loop for this one. Let's start with the spark that ignited this firestorm.
Chanted defense by the Sparks fans. 6 on the shot clock. Clark, a deep three. Oop, that is. She missed her first 7.
Caitlyn Clark, the Indiana Fever's breakout star and the WNBA's reigning Rookie of the Year, has been a phenomenon since her college days at Iowa. She's shattered scoring records, packed arenas with screaming fans, and brought unprecedented attention to women's basketball, turning casual viewers into die-hard supporters. Her impact is undeniable. Ticket sales have surged, with teams moving games to larger venues to accommodate the Caitlyn Clark effect. TV ratings are soaring, with ESPN reporting record viewership for WNBA games featuring Clark. The league's valuation has skyrocketed, with the Indiana Fever's value alone jumping an astonishing 273% from 2024 to 2025, according to Sportico, making them one of the most valuable franchises in the league. Clark's the kind of player who doesn't just move the needle, she is the needle, redefining what star power looks like in the WNBA. And now, she's landed a massive $100 million deal with Nike, a deal that's reportedly one of the richest endorsement contracts in WNBA history. Her first sneaker release, part of Nike's iconic Kobe 5 line, sold out in just 5 minutes, with resale prices doubling the original $190 retail tag on platforms like StockX. That's the kind of cultural and commercial star power we're talking about, a force that's elevating the entire sport. But with great fame comes great scrutiny, and Clark's meteoric rise hasn't been without controversy. Enter Colin Cowherd, the host of The Herd on FS1 and Fox Sports Radio, who's never been shy about sharing his opinions. On a recent episode, Cowherd went off, claiming that WNBA players are showing race-based hate toward Clark, pointing to her low ranking in the 2025 WNBA All-Star Game player voting as evidence. For those who missed it, here's the deal. Clark dominated the fan vote, racking up a record-breaking 1,293,526 votes to become an All-Star captain. That's more than double the votes of the next closest player, Napheesa Collier, who got 1,176,020. The media ranked Clark third among guards, which is respectable. But the players, they voted her as the 9th best guard in the league. 9th. Let that sink in. Cowherd didn't hold back. He called the player voting petty and suggested there's an obvious racial component to the way Clark's been treated. He argued that WNBA players are resentful of Clark's success, not just because of her talent, but because of what she represents. A white Midwestern star who's become the face of a league that's predominantly black. Cowherd's exact words were, "The WNBA players, they just don't like what the wave looks like." He compared Clark to a golden goose that the league should be embracing, not pushing away. He even went as far as to say that this kind of behavior is holding the WNBA back from mainstream popularity, pointing out that Clark's presence has brought private flights, sold-out arenas, and a better collective bargaining agreement, benefits that all players are enjoying. Now, before we go further, let's acknowledge the elephant in the room. Race is a sensitive topic, and Cowherd's comments have sparked a firestorm. Some fans and analysts, like ESPN's Dick Vitale, have echoed his sentiments, calling the player voting pure jealousy. Vitale tweeted, "Absolutely pure jealousy that WNBA players voted Caitlyn Clark the 9th best guard. Someday they will realize what she has done for all of the players in the WNBA." Others, like Jason Whitlock, doubled down, saying, "Yeah, they hate Kate." Social media is ablaze with fans defending Clark, pointing to her stats: 18.2 points, 8.9 assists, and 5.0 rebounds per game in just 9 games this season, as proof that she's a top-tier talent. But not everyone agrees with Cowherd's take, and we'll get to the other side of this in a moment. First, let's talk about why Cowherd's accusation is resonating with so many people. Clark's impact on the WNBA is undeniable. Since she entered the league in May 2024, she's been a one-woman economic boom. The WNBA registered its highest attendance in 26 years for an opening month, and TV ratings have hit record highs. Clark's games have been moved to larger venues to accommodate crowds, and her presence...
John Kozner, a former ESPN executive, put it bluntly: "In my lifetime, we had Muhammad Ali, we had Michael Jordan, we had Tiger Woods, and to me, it's early, but we have Caitlyn Clark." Her $11 million in endorsement deals in 2024 alone, Gatorade, State Farm, Nike, you name it, shows she's a marketing juggernaut. And that $100 million Nike deal, it's a game changer, not just for Clark, but for the visibility of women's sports. So when WNBA players rank her 9th among guards, behind players like Paige Buchers, Brittany Sykes, and Natasha Cloud, it raises eyebrows. Cowherd argues that this isn't just about performance, it's personal. He points out that Clark's peers, who see her dominance firsthand, should know better than to rank her so low. He's not alone in this view. Posts on X have called out the voting, with one user, @BrickCenter, tweeting, "WNBA players ranked Caitlyn Clark the 9th best guard in the league. They hate her." Another post from @22cc News claimed, "Colin Cowherd calls WNBA players hate on Caitlyn Clark racial, CC Nike brand worth $100 million. The sentiment is clear. A lot of fans feel Clark is being unfairly targeted, and Cowherd's racial angle has given voice to that frustration. But let's pump the brakes and look at the other side. Is it really about race, or is there more to the story? Some argue that the player voting reflects legitimate basketball reasoning, not personal vendettas. Each WNBA player gets one ballot to vote for up to 4 guards and 6 front court players, and they're supposed to base their choices on performance this season. Clark has only played 9 games in 2025 due to a left quad strain injury, which caused her to miss more games than she's played. Her team, the Indiana Fever, is sitting at a modest 8-8 record. Compare that to other guards who've had more court time and consistent contributions, and some say the 9th place ranking isn't as outrageous as it seems. Chelsea Leet from SB Nation wrote, "Players are making these choices based on everyone's performances this season, not a player's potential on paper, not their 2024 season, not their accolades and records, or how much interest they bring to the WNBA." Then there's the argument that Clark's massive popularity might overshadow other deserving players. The WNBA has a history of incredible talent, players like Aja Wilson, Brianna Stewart, and Sabrina Ionescu, who've been grinding for years without the same media spotlight. Some players might feel that Clark's hype, driven largely by fans and media, doesn't fully align with her on-court resume yet. After all, she's still early in her career, and while her stats are impressive, she's not leading the league in any major category. Could the voting be a way for players to push back against the narrative that Clark is single-handedly saving the WNBA? ESPN's Stephen A. Smith touched on this back in June, suggesting there's resentment toward Clark because she's seen as the golden goose. But he also noted that Clark herself can sometimes instigate that resentment, though he didn't elaborate on how. Now, let's address the racial component head-on. Cowherd's claim that there's an obvious racial component is a bold statement, and it's not the first time race has been brought up in discussions about Clark. The WNBA is a predominantly black league, and Clark, as a white player, stands out. Her massive fan base, which skews broader and perhaps less familiar with the WNBA's history, has led to accusations that her popularity is partly fueled by racial dynamics. White fans rallying behind a white star in a black-dominated sport. This narrative has been floating around since her college days, and it's been amplified by incidents like the All-Star voting. But is it fair to say the players' votes were driven by race-based hate? That's a heavy accusation, and without concrete evidence, like players explicitly stating racial motives, it's hard to prove. Critics of Cowherd argue he's oversimplifying a complex issue, using race as a convenient talking point to stir controversy and boost his show's ratings. Another layer to this is the WNBA's culture and how newcomers are received. Clark's faced physical challenges on the court. Hard fouls, full court pressure, you name it. Former WNBA player Kelsey Bones Smith recently tweeted about players who face relentless full court pressure, suggesting it's because they can't handle speed or physicality. While she didn't name Clark, fans immediately assumed she was throwing shade, which Bones Smith denied. This kind of thing fuels the narrative that Clark's being singled out, whether for her race, her fame, or her playing style. But physical play is part of the WNBA's DNA. Veterans often test rookies to see what they're made of. Is Clark being targeted more than others? Maybe. Is it because she's white? That's where the debate gets murky. Let's talk about the Nike deal for a second, because it's a big piece of this puzzle. Clark's $100 million contract isn't just about sneakers, it's a statement. Nike sees her as a generational talent, someone who can carry their brand the way Kobe Bryant or LeBron James did. The fact that her sneakers sold out in minutes shows her marketability is through the roof. But this kind of deal can also breed resentment. WNBA players have historically been underpaid compared to their NBA counterparts, with the league's hard salary cap of $1.5 million per team limiting individual earnings. Clark's base salary is $78,066, a fraction of her endorsement money. And while her Nike deal is a win for her, it highlights the pay disparity in the league.
When Clark called out the WNBA's pay structure after the Indiana Fever's Commissioner's Cup win, pointing out that the $30,000 per player for the Cup is more than the $20,825 for a championship, she wasn't just celebrating. She was shining a light on a systemic issue, one that affects all players, not just her. So where does this leave us? Is Cowherd right that WNBA players are hating on Clark because of her race? Or is this about something else? Jealousy, competitive pride, or just the growing pains of a league adjusting to a new superstar? I think the truth lies in a gray area. Clark's impact is undeniable. She's brought more eyes to the WNBA than anyone in recent memory. Her stats, even in limited games, show she's a force. But the player voting suggests there's a disconnect between her popularity and how her peers see her. Maybe it's because she's only played 9 games this season. Maybe it's because some players feel she's getting credit for changes like private flights and better salaries that they've been fighting for years. Or maybe, just maybe, there's some truth to the idea that her race and background make her an easier target for resentment in a league where black players have long been the backbone. Here's my take. Cowherd's accusation is too simplistic. Calling it race-based hate ignores the nuances of the WNBA's culture, the competitive nature of the sport, and the complex dynamics of fame and jealousy. Clark's being judged harshly, no question, but pinning it solely on race feels like a leap. The WNBA is a tight-knit community, and newcomers, especially those with massive hype, often have to earn their stripes. Clark's doing that. She's an all-star captain, she's leading her team to wins like the Commissioner's Cup, and she's handling the pressure with grace. If anything, this controversy only proves how much she's shaking things up. The WNBA is growing, and Clark's a big part of that. Instead of tearing each other down, players, fans, and pundits like Cowherd should focus on riding this wave together. What do you think? Is Cowherd onto something, or is he blowing this out of proportion? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep this conversation going. If you enjoyed this deep dive, give us a like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends. We've got more sports drama coming your way. so hit that notification bell to stay in the loop. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.